Good day and welcome to Quilting with Dawn, not episode 6. Today is the 7th of April and I thought I'd give you a quick update on what's going on because yes, it's been 2 or 3 weeks since the last video and I haven't actually done the binding yet. Why, you ask? Okay, main reason is I just spent the last 10 days or so, I got back 2 nights ago, I spent the last 10 days in Belgium hanging out with my Belgian buddies. I might have mentioned before that Carolyn and I had spent we spent 6 years in Belgium while I was working with NATO for the Royal Canadian Air Force. While we were there, we made some very good friends, and I went back to do something I've done now 11 times, and that's the Belgian Carnaval. Here's a little video of what goes on there, just to give you a taste that there's more to life sometimes than just quilting, which I know you all know. And here's me. There will be a Carnival with Dawn YouTube video. Stay tuned. So I did that. Now, let me also give you a quick update here on what's going on in Carolyn's studio. We started working on this yesterday. It's sorting Carolyn's scraps. She loves making scrappy quilts, but nevertheless, you have to sort all the various bits and pieces into various categories. The biggest pile you see at your top left is the actual pile of scraps Carolyn can use, where you cut these into various size strips and sew them together and make something. Then we've got the one pile that's got pieced items at the bottom, and a bin of Carolyn plans to do something with her batik fabrics specifically, so we've created a separate little bin in the middle of batiks. So you get the idea, it's a work in progress, Carolyn. We're sorting through scraps, we're not done yet. Finally, okay, what's going on with my Vista Boxes quilt? Well, okay, I haven't done any binding, but it's not fair to say I've given it no thought. I've given it quite a bit of thought. And something that Carolyn offered me to get myself smarter on doing bindings is a book she picked up somewhere along the way. It's called Creative Quilt, hang on a sec here, Creative Quilt Bindings Template by Sewing with Nancy. And it's a cool book that it walks you through all the various steps to do a binding, and it even comes with, as the title implies, a template, a ruler-based template with all sorts of lines and measurements on it. Now the reason is that this binding book gives you 4 ways to bind a quilt, either on a regular edge or on a bias edge. It has a standard binding, it has a 2-colored binding, it has a binding with a little extra border all the way around it, and I forgot the last kind, but it's a very informative book and I'm going to follow that. The other thing I've done is chosen what I'm going to bind this quilt with after reading the book, and I'm going to go with a 2-color binding. One that is going to match the white along the edge here on the front, and one that will match the material on the back, with the dark blue color. So in fact, I have enough material to do both. I have enough of the white fabric that I use for this quilt to do the front edge of the binding, and I have enough of the darker fabric on the back to do the back binding. The idea being the binding is going to blend in on the back and roughly blend in on the front. It'll outline a couple of the box patterns, a few of the box patterns around the edge. But the idea is to not make it such that you look at the first thing you see when you see the quilt is the binding. I want the first thing you see are the Vista boxes. The binding is just a way to finish the quilt. So that's my plan for the way ahead. Sorry I haven't got to that yet. But while I'm here, you can see what's behind me is my bar. So let me now take this moment to introduce you to my area of our recreational floor. We have Carolyn's studio, but then we have the Dawn space, if you will. So my interests are more traditional. I've got my man cave. It's actually more of a man cubby. It's with the large TV, surround sound, nice speakers, etc., etc. And if I'll swing around here, I'm getting back into vinyl, so that's a pretty good turntable. And then our sitting area for the TV. It's all good. But the feature of my space is right here. Da, da, da. It's my bar. Oh yeah. with over 50 bottles of whiskey on the bar. A beer fridge that's usually stocked. It's a wet bar. It's got a sink. Custom built woodworking. It was a pleasure to have this done. And of course, the wine rack, because you got to have wine as well on your bar. So yeah, you get the idea. So there you have it. Stay tuned. Within the next week or so, I should be able to show you the binding and the progress I'm making on that. And I will also give you an update on how much time and money this quilt cost. I'm not going to give that to you now, even though I know the answer. Wait for the real episode of Quilting with Don, episode 6. So with that, keep on quilting, stay safe, and we'll see you in about a week. Cheers.